the Kolkata rape and murder case. Now, Kolkata police civic volunteer Sanjay Roy has been taken into custody in connection with the brutal rape and murder of the second-year postgraduate trainee doctor at the RG Kar hospital. Evidence gathered from CCTV footage has reportedly captured him entering the hospital's emergency building at 4 a.m. on the day of the crime, wearing a Bluetooth device. He was seen departing approximately 40 minutes later, at which point the device was missing. This device was subsequently recovered near the victim's body. An analysis has linked it to his cell phone, establishing a clear connection between Sanjay Roy and the brutal rape and murder that has taken place. A preliminary investigation has revealed that the accused, Sanjay Roy, had consumed alcohol before committing the crime. He was allegedly a habitual offender with a recorded history of violence against women. As per reports, police have found porn clips on his mobile phone. The ones who knew him described him as a habitual offender with a pattern of violence against women. His neighbors have claimed that he would often return home late at night, allegedly in a drunken state. Sanjay Roy worked as a civic volunteer with the Kolkata police. Civic volunteers are recruited on a contractual basis to assist the police with various tasks such as traffic management and disaster response, for which they receive a monthly salary of 12,000 rupees. However, they do not enjoy the same benefits as regular police personnel. Sanjay joined the Kolkata Police's disaster management group as a volunteer in 2019. Later, he was transferred to the police welfare cell before being assigned to the police outposts at RG Kar Medical College and Hospital. This role granted Sanjay access to all departments within the hospital premises. The accused allegedly exploited his association with the cops, often masquerading as an officer. He was reportedly involved in a racket within the hospital, extorting money from patients' relatives by promising to secure them a bed. In cases where a bed was not available in the government hospital, he would charge additional fees to find one in a nearby nursing home. Despite not being a police officer, Roy would sometimes use his connections to stay in the police barracks and was often seen wearing a Kolkata police t-shirt with a KP tag on his bike. His false authority led many volunteers to believe that he was indeed a police officer. It has now come to light that he was a member of the Police Welfare Board's 14-member Central Committee, and his disapproval could lead to the transfer of police officers. Reportedly, he received 5 liters of free fuel for daily use and also used a police motorcycle for personal purposes. The motorcycle has now been seized. A police inquiry into Sanjay Roy has uncovered multiple allegations against him, including extortion, intimidation, and threats against women. He has been found guilty on at least 2 occasions, first for assaulting his pregnant wife in 2022, and later for misbehaving with a female doctor a few weeks ago. But to everyone's surprise, Sanjay Roy was never censured. He has managed to evade capture even after assaulting his own pregnant wife. In another report, a woman went to Lal Bazaar to file a complaint that Sanjay had been harassing her by calling her up for the past few months. As per her statement, he first approached her at the RG Kar hospital under the pretext of buying medicine. Then he obtained her number from the prescription and has since pressured and threatened her to meet with him. Talking about his personal life, his neighbors have said that he was married multiple times. These relationships did not last long. He was married 4 times before, and 3 of his wives have left him due to his alleged abusive behavior. However, his 4th wife reportedly died of cancer last year. Durga Devi, the mother-in-law of Sanjay, has said that he used to thrash his wife, after which a police complaint was filed. Initially, everything, she says, was good for 6 months between the couple, but as soon as Sanjay's wife was 3 months pregnant, he caused her a miscarriage. He beat her up so brutally that she had a miscarriage, and a police complaint was registered for the same. She also said that her daughter continued to remain ill after the incident, and that the family had to then bear all expenses for the medicines, and Sanjay did not pay a single penny. Sanjay Roy's arrest has come after a crucial piece of evidence, the broken wire from the Bluetooth earphone, which was discovered near the victim's body in the RG Kar hospital at the 4th floor seminar room. This clue has played a pivotal role in leading to his arrest. Following the crime, he returned to his residence. He slept and then attempted to destroy evidence by washing his clothes the next morning. However, the police discovered bloodstains on his shoes during a search. What do all of these details, the criminal antecedents of Sanjay Roy, really reveal to us? I have with me on the broadcast Dr. Kapil Kakkar, a psychologist, joining us. Dr. Kakkar, thank you so much for speaking with NewsX. I want to begin by asking you and understanding from you, when I describe aspects of Sanjay Roy's personal and professional life, what are some of the first thoughts that come to your mind as a psychologist? This is a person who has managed to marry multiple women, who has not had the ability to make those relationships last, who has managed to beat up his pregnant woman, pregnant wife. That has led to a miscarriage, that has led to once again a broken relationship between himself and his wife. And ultimately, the man has circled back and has managed to hold on to a professional life outside of what was happening within his home. Despite his neighbors perhaps knowing about what he is doing, he's gone ahead and he's held multiple roles. He's in with the cops. He's managed to clear some. I'm assuming that there must be some sort of a test or something that one has to clear to become a civic volunteer with the police force. So he's going in every day and continuing on with his professional duties despite him being an absolute beast.
Yeah, good evening. Hi. See, what you have narrated at the beginning of your story and now what you have told me again, this is a classic case of psychopathy personality disorder. Because all the traits that you have mentioned in your story initially, they cover each and every part of it. Such psychopaths, they are manipulative, they are dishonest, they are impulsive, there is lack of empathy. Now, if you look at in this particular case, this guy was dishonest, like you said, in the hospital. He used to pretend at times that he's a cop, or perhaps he even used to take money from people to get their work done, right? So there was an element, a strong element of manipulation also, the way he used to deal, the way his conduct was. So these are psychopaths, and he was, I would say, he was a seasoned psychopath. He was not a psychopath because if you look at it, he got into multiple marriages, 4 marriages, and such people they also have narcissistic personality disorder. So this guy, he has seen a lot of things in his life. He has got away from it umpteen time, and that is where his confidence level has grown by the time. And that is why, despite working with the cops, they were never able to identify that this guy is dishonest and manipulative. Unless and until he was able to create a nexus with the cops also and used to share some amount of money that he would earn through his manipulative means within the hospital. So there has to be something, because these people are able to influence others easily because of their manipulative state of mind. And they will not even let you will not even get a glimpse of their ulterior motives. And when I say that they had lack of empathy, the way he has murdered, the way in no time he has attacked that poor doctor, the victim, clearly shows how impulsive this guy was. The only mistake, I think, what he has made is, like you told, you just said, that 4 a.m. he goes back and that CCTV. Because otherwise, what I understand is, he was taking entry from some other door. And That is why he was not captured before. That is, his entry is not captured, his exit is captured. So he had done a lot of things, and such people are shameless in the sense he has confessed it. And he knows why he's confessed it, because he does not want any beating of the cops. For me, he also understands what are the kind of ramification, what are the limitation of the cops, how much and what he can do. And that is where now his psychological test, the polygraph that will happen. Now the cops will try to join the dots, because what he has been saying till now, and now what, and that is also, that's been a conflicting information that he has given, which is again very, very natural for psychopaths to do. So he will try to perhaps pull this for another 3, 4, 5 days, unless and until, and then eventually he breaks down. So this is, and when the cops, they want him to break down and be sincere and honest with what exactly happened, how many people more were involved, apart from the polygraphy and the narco analysis, they would have to get a family element, be it his mother or somebody from the family, and such people eventually they bow down, and that is when the truth starts coming out. Because it's been, I think, 6 days with the CBI, this guy has been, and
Right, I'll come back to Dr. Kapil Kakkar in just a moment, but my colleague Brian has also spoken to Sanjay Roy's mother-in-law, Durga Devi, wherein she has some big revelations about him and his past behavior towards his wife. Have a look.
आपकी बेटी का नाम क्या था?
बेटी का नाम बताया, बेटी का नाम शांति राम।
अच्छा, और उनका शादी हुआ था, कब शादी हुआ था और क्या क्या हरकतें था, क्या क्या करता था?
शादी कब हुई बेटा बताओ? 19 फरवरी 2022।
अच्छा, और शादी के पहले में सही था, चीज़ें क्या हुआ थोड़ा बताइए खुल के।
उस टाइम सब ठीक था, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं था। शादी के बाद से बहुत सारा दिखाने लगा प्रॉब्लम।
कितना दिन बाद से प्रॉब्लम शुरू?
शादी कितना, लड़की मेरा उसका घर में जाते बीमार गिर गया, 3 महीना का प्रेग्नेंट था, पेट में बच्चा था। वो जब खराब हुआ होने का बाद में फिर हमको बोला मम्मी मेरा पेट में दर्द है, बच्चा खराब हो गया और डॉक्टर दिखाया। डॉक्टर दिखाने के बाद पुलिस केस कर दिया। केस करने के बाद कागज़ जमा दिया। कागज़ जमा देने के बाद हमें जमा किया हम। ये सब कागज़ सब बोला है रख के रहो।
और संजय रॉय का कितना शादी हुआ था?
संजय रॉय का शादी सिर्फ 2 है। मेरा बेटी था एक आगे वाली थी बस।
आपकी बेटी की सेकंड वाइफ थी?
हाँ, दूसरी
बीवी थी। अच्छा, एक बात बताइए, क्या कुछ होता था बीवी के अगेंस्ट? क्या मारा पीटा जाता था?
ये संसारी घर का बात है। पुलिस केस किया, बच्चा था सब खराब हो गया। उसका बाद 6 महीना अपना घर था। शादी का 6-7 महीना अपना घर था। उसके बाद बाकी सब फिलहाल मेरा पास था। जितना दवाई बीरो जितना खर्चा सब हम किया, 3-4 लाख रुपया हम लगाया। उसका एक पैसा का हाल नहीं जानता। तब से हम रिश्ते ही तोड़ दिया, हटा दिया। कुछ आना ना, मेरा घर में आना जाना नहीं, एकदम कुछ नहीं, आना जाना नहीं करता था।
और आप लोगों के प्रति उसका व्यवहार कैसा था?
व्यवहार का जब हमारा लड़की के संग जब गलत व्यवहार तो हम गलत है व्यवहार।
गलत मतलब क्या? मारा पीटी? क्या
पीटी बस, और कुछ नहीं। ये नहीं जो काट दिया, खत्म कर दिया, फोड़ फाड़ दिया।
पर मारा पीटी भी काफी संगीन है।
नहीं,
ये भी तो नहीं होना चाहिए।
ऐसा मारपीट नहीं मारा है, मारने का डर के हमारे लड़की बोला मम्मी हमको मारा है बस।
और फिर उसके बाद क्या हुआ?
और क्या हुआ? कुछ नहीं। उसके बाद लड़की को अपना घर ले आया, उनके दवाई बीरो कराया, ब्लड कैंसर निकला, दवाई बीरो कराया बस।
और उसके बाद से जब आपकी बेटी दुनिया से चली गई, नहीं रही, तो जब आपकी बेटी नहीं रही इस दुनिया में, तो उसके बाद से आपका कोई संबंध रहता था? उससे बात होता था? संजय रॉय से कोई बात हुआ?
नहीं, माँ का तो ऐसी दिमाग खराब है उसका बाद किससे हम बात करें? हम तो काम में रहता था सर। हम काम करता कोठी बाड़ी में और कामे में जाता तो पड़ा रहता था।
आपको कभी ऐसा लगा कि ये ऐसा कुछ कर सकता है, ऐसा घिनौना काम?
घिनौना काम नहीं कर सकता, उसका दिमाग में कहाँ आ गया जो घिनौना काम किया था, हमको समझ के तो दिमाग
और
में।
उसकी मम्मी तो बोल रही है कि वो मतलब निर्दोष है, उसने कुछ किया नहीं है, बेगुनाह है वो।
ये बात सही बोला है, निर्दोष नहीं है, दोष है, किंतु है दोष। हम अपना दामाद है और उसका लड़का है बोल कर हम झूठ नहीं बोलेगा, दोष है, दोष के अलावा किसी का बदनाम नहीं होता।
तो अभी किसी से बात नहीं होती आपसे?
नहीं, हमारा बात नहीं, 1.5 साल से, साल भर से बात नहीं है, 1.5 साल से।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया दुर्गा जी हमसे बात करने के लिए।
All right, so there you heard it. That was a conversation with Sanjay Roy's mother-in-law. Dr. Kapil Kakkar back with us on the broadcast. Dr. Kakkar, we lost you there for a moment, but you were explaining to us, and once again, we've also, I'm sure you've also heard what the mother-in-law had to say. I just want to understand from you, how is it that this man managed to then have or hold multiple wives? How did he manage to convince multiple women, multiple families over time?
That's a good question. See, one of the exciting traits of a psychopath is that they have superficial charm. And anything what they decide in their mind, by hook or by crook, they would go after it without any kind of demotivation. Whether they fail 100 times, but they will accomplish it eventually. That is the trait of these people. And if you look at when your colleague was talking to his mother-in-law, there was a clear, because if you look at it, there was lack of empathy the way he treated his wife, and he was impulsive, like you also said that he beat his pregnant wife, etc. So this basically is the trait that this guy knew what he was doing. He had his various things and he knew how to deal with people. So he was somebody who would be 10 steps ahead. Now see, so innocuously and so innocently, his mother-in-law is saying something. She says, or his mother also, that he cannot do this, or this is not something which can be expected, a murder out of him. Because these people, they will never portray even a mini element of that trait. That smart they are. For them, they know how to manipulate, they would know how to manipulate, and these people have no remorse. Even if you were to check with these cops, his behavior, his conduct in the jail, etc., they would say he's not remorseful. He's indifferent. And he is cold. So these are the traits which, but the irony is that nobody around him was able to, despite being amongst the police. And I fail to understand, and that is where it hurts more, being in the police, you are wearing the police, I think casuals, the t-shirts that you mentioned. And even the volunteers, he convinced the other volunteers also that he was a cop. So you can imagine the kind of, but the cops at least should have found out that till what extent what this guy is made of. For me, he had a very strong nexus with the cops, be it at a lower level, that he was also able to manipulate, and that may be one of the reasons that he has gone scot-free until he was arrested.
Okay, Dr. Kakkar, I will come back to you in just a moment. My colleague Brian has also spoken to one of the neighbors of Sanjay Roy, who has revealed that they did not have good relations with Sanjay or his family. Listen in.
हम सिर्फ यही पूछना चाहते हैं वो कैसा व्यक्ति कैसा था?
कैसा 100 बात कई को बात बोल दिया कि वो अच्छा नहीं था,
अच्छा इंसान नहीं था। यहाँ रहता था?
यहाँ नहीं, 8-10 महीने से वो कहीं गायब था।
कहाँ रहता था, कोई आइडिया?
नहीं, कुछ आइडिया नहीं।
और आपके साथ, आपके फैमिली के साथ व्यवहार कैसा था?
बोले तो हम लोग का घर से झगड़ा हुआ था।
झगड़ा कोई कारण के वजह से?
कारण को लेकर हुआ था।
बस वो था अपना जैसा नॉर्मल लड़का जैसा था वैसे ही था।
कोई आइडिया था आपको, आपसे बात होता था सही से?
हाँ वो तो नहीं, मेरा साथ तो उतना कोई बातचीत नहीं था, क्योंकि हम लोग के साथ में पाड़ा का कोई भी आदमी के साथ उसका कोई रिलेशन नहीं था। हम लोग को दूसरों का कोई ये नहीं था, हम लोग अपना मर्जी में रहता था। हम लोग अपना
कितना आता था, यही रहता था या
ये 6 महीना 8 महीना आगे ये बंद, मतलब आना छोड़ दिया था अपना घर। 6-7 महीना आगे यही था।
तो आपको कभी आइडिया हुआ ऐसा कुछ घिनौना?
नहीं देखिए, वो ऐसा तो नहीं था, हम लोग को तो पता ही है इतना। जब नेक्स्ट दिन हम लोग को पता चला तो हम लोग को भी ताज्जुब हुआ कि अपना पाड़ा का इतना ऐसा ये लड़का ऐसा कर सकेगा, हम लोग को तो बहुत ये लगा।
शादी का भी था कि 3 या 4 शादी था?
शादी वो तो हाँ शादी किया था, वो तो 3-4 शादी किया था, 4 शादी तक। लास्ट वो वाइफ उसका गुजर चुकी थी।
और मारता पीटता भी था?
हाँ वो तो जो भी अपना वाइफ को लेकर आता था, हम लोग को तो घर का अंदर में वो लोग का मारपीट हो रहा था, तो हम लोग बाहर से आना जाना करते थे, तो आवाज पता चलता था कि वो अपना मारपीट कर रहा
और
था।
यहाँ कोई मतलब कोई झमेला वमेला कोई पड़ा?
नहीं, पाड़ा में तो कभी किसी से झगड़ा लड़ाई नहीं करता था, वो अपना घर पे ही करता था, अपना घर पे अपना वाइफ लोग को ऊपर अत्याचारी माँ का ऊपर में मार रहा था। यही
मतलब
फैमिली में बहुत, अपना मम्मी को भी करता था, बहुत झगड़ा लड़ाई कर रहा। हाँ जी, यही इसका घर है।
Okay, Dr. Kakkar, I just want to understand from you, now you've heard the neighbors as well. So clearly he wasn't being able to hold on to any sort of good neighborly relations. People did have fights with him. They were noticing that he's coming back home drunk. They would probably hear some sort of noises from the house as well, because it seems as though, of course, if he's beating up his wife, there must be some yelling, shouting, something that must be happening to make the neighbors alert about this person. Now, what usually happens is, for most of us, we feel that, okay, this is happening in someone else's house. Firstly, it's not our place. We're listening to things that are going on. We're hearing shouting and screaming, but most of us don't react. What is it, or when is it that society also needs to understand that there could be something crucially wrong, and you have to then as a society step into a certain matter, rather than just brushing it off under the carpet and saying that, okay, this is happening in a neighbor's house, we don't know the context of what might be happening, so we don't want to get into it at all. It's different if, okay, one day sometime you've just heard some yelling and shouting happening in someone's house. All families have fights, right, at the end of the day. But it's another matter when you're witness to the fact that there's a person who's coming back home drunk almost on a daily basis, who does have a past record of not, as the neighbors are saying, of just not being a kind person. And then you're also learning of what this person is doing within their own household. Why is it, firstly, Dr. Kakkar, that we as human beings tend to ignore this? And what is it that we can do to probably improve our response also, and our responsibility in terms of identifying people who at the end of the day end up becoming Sanjay Roy?
Okay. I'd like to start commenting on your first statement which you said, and then I'll come to the societal part also. The first statement you said, he was not able to keep relationship with his neighbors. It is not that. Please understand, a psychopath, he controls everything. He did not want to keep relationship with his neighbors, is why he used to fight with them. He may be mistreating them. Why? Because he knew if he would mingle with them, one day or the other, he might reveal something to them which might land him in trouble. So these people, what they would do primarily is, they would be in recluse, they will be in isolation, they will be introvert as far as in their neighborhood is concerned. They will not like to talk to people, anyone who would want, and if they feel that somebody is trying to come to them, they will create a situation within that place that people will say it is better to not talk to such people. So this is what. Now coming back to what the society would do. For a society, when they see everybody, when they see every day the guy is coming drunk, every day he's fighting at home, every day when it is, then it becomes a new normal for them. And in such cases, they would not interfere, and they will also not perhaps call the cops. But what society should do is, when such things happen, they should approach, once he's not there at home, they should go to his place, or maybe meet his brother, wife, any family member, try and find out about what is happening in their lives, because this is not normal. That the person, he comes every day and he's fighting every day, he's drunk every day. So that is where the society needs to be aware, and if they are aware, they need to quietly, without, even if they don't want, obviously nobody wants their name to come, they should alert the police. But again, the question happens, even if you start building that chain, the police will not take any action because they will say, we don't have any formal complaint. So my point is there are a lot of lacunas, there are a lot of gaps in between which will demotivate and uninspire the society to take initiative, because on one side, because they don't want to get into anybody else's step, because they always have this fear this might come back to them, and they don't want their own peaceful life to be affected. Unfortunately, in India, that is where you will see when people they meet with the accidents also, or somebody is murdered on the road. Mostly people are spectators, because at the end of the day, we do not appreciate empathy, being a good citizen, not only a good taxpayer, but a good citizen where you can help others. That thing is slightly missing in our lives, maybe because we are too preoccupied with our own earnings, with our own livelihood, with our own peace, with our own anxiety, that we don't want, as we would say, any other trouble coming our way.
Okay, all right. Dr. Kakkar, I thank you for joining us on the broadcast to shed some light on what really is going on. Meanwhile, my colleague Brian has also spoken to Malti Roy, mother of Sanjay Roy. She has claimed that her son is in fact innocent and is being framed. Listen in.
A major tragedy happened in RG Kaur Medical College, where a girl was brutally raped and killed, and the accused Sanjay Roy's mother Malati Roy is also joined with us. Ma'am, bolun কি বলতে চাইছেন?
না, আমি কিছু বলতে চাই না।
আপনি কি চাইছেন, কি ডিমান্ড করছেন?
আমি কোনো ডিমান্ড চাই না, আমার ছেলে ভালো থাকুক। মেয়েরা তো দেখলো না, ছেলে দেখছিল, ছেলে তো দুঃখ লাগছে। তুমিও ছেলে বাবা, আমি যদি না খেয়ে থাকি তোমাদের বুকে দুঃখ লাগছে।
ছেলে নির্দোষ আপনার মতে?
আমার মতে নির্দোষ।
ছেলে কোনো অপরাধ করেনি।
আর বলে কি হবে অপরাধ? ওরা মহিলারা বলে দিয়েছে, তো আমি কি বলবো? আমিও তো মহিলা, আমি তো একটা বৃদ্ধ মহিলা, হাউসওয়াইফ।
আর একটা কথা জানি,
চাই যে তোমাদের কোনো ক্ষতি না হয়, ঠিক তো? গুড বাই, কোনো ক্ষতি না হয়।
আর ও কেমন টাইপের ছেলে ছিল? মানে কথা বেশি বলতো, চুপচাপ থাকতো, কেমন টাইপের ছেলে ছিল?
দেখুন, যার আমার তোমার কটা ভাই বোন আছে? তোমরা একা। যদি 4টে বোন থাকে, সে ভাই কিভাবে চলতে হয় সেটাই শিখতে হয়।
আর কোন স্কুল থেকে পড়েছিল? কোন স্কুল থেকে পড়াশোনা করেছিল?
ও স্কুল পড়েছিল আমতলা, আমতলা থেকে রামবীর থেকে চকরবেরিয়া। তারা কি স্টুডেন্টরা জানে না যে সঞ্জয় কেমন ছেলে?
আর এর আগে কোথায়
মহিলারা বদনাম করে? আমি মহিলাকে ঘৃণা করছি। এবার আজকেও আমি শুনেছি আমার ছেলের কোনো রিপোর্ট করলে আমার বুকে লাগে।
আর কোথায় কাজ করতো এর আগে?
আমি কাজের জানি না, আমি পড়ালেখাটা বলতে পারি। আমি পড়ালেখার পরিশ্রম করেছি, মেয়েদেরও দেখলাম পড়ালেখা শিখিয়ে কি পেলাম না খেদে।
আপনার মতে ও নির্দোষ আছে, ও কিছু করেনি?
দেখুন, আমি তো তোমার সঙ্গে সঙ্গে তো যাইনি। তুমি এখানে এলে আমাকে দুটো কথা শুনতে হচ্ছে, তোমাকেও দুটো কথা শুনতে হচ্ছে যে তোমাকে কষ্ট। আজ আমি না খেয়ে আছি, কেউ দেখছে না।
So yes, viewers, this was Malati Roy, who, I'll just translate what she said. She said that her son is not guilty, he is innocent, and he has been framed by the women, and he is rather says that he as a woman also she feels that he has been wrongly rather framed by this very incident. And she also talks about the schooling that he did, and she said that he was the earning member of the family, and he used to give them the money and aid, and now when he is not here they are deprived of the proper food. We'll show you the visuals of the house also. If I request my camera person Ankush to come forward and show the visuals. This is the house that they stay in. So this is the situation, and Malati Roy was also saying that Sanjay was the only earning member of the family. If you show you the locality also, this is the locality, this is the very neighborhood, this is the very place where Sanjay Roy along with his mother used to stay. We just spoke to Malati Roy exclusively from NewsX, and she said that her son is wrongfully admitted, and he is innocent, and he has done nothing.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.